Hi there, I've got a beautiful black and gold card today that shows you how to make a recessed aperture into your background. We're going to be using several dies here. First up is the Sumatra from the Indonesian collection. In fact, we're going to be using all three of these, the Java, as well as the Bali. And if you'll notice, the outside shape on these is all the same, so there's different things you can do with them as well. And we are also using the background, which is a square shape. And I've created another little frame using the double pierced square set B of the Nobles. And the sentiment today comes from the Sweet Wishes, a clear stamp set by Creative Expressions. So I've gone ahead and I've done a little bit ahead of time. Pop this over here. And I've cut out the background using just the outer decorative die. Remember, there's no cutting edge around the outside, so you get this decorative shape. You can leave whatever size border you want on that. So I've gone ahead and cut that out. So what we want to do is create an aperture in that. So I'm going to bring in, there's two outer cutting dies on the Sumatra. I'm going to use the smaller of the two, the one that doesn't have the piercing. And we are just going to line it up in the center here to create an aperture. So it will cut directly into that design, but no worries. So let me just get it lined up nice and straight. Just sort of make sure it's at the same spot on both top and bottom. Try and tape it to the inside since it's gold mirror card. It does tend to leave tape lines. Catch that right like that. Quick run through. So what you end up with is a piece that's got some of the extra edges showing here, so we don't want that. So what we're going to do is create a little bit of a frame. So I've got one I've done ahead of time. I'm going to bring that in, okay? And there's a tiny little damage spot, so I'm going to show you how we can fix that rather than just starting all over. So to create a frame, what I've done is I've used two of the different dies from the Indonesian collection. We've used the outer from this one and this one. And they're the same shape, so we've gotten a frame that's going to fit lovely over that to kind of conceal those edges. So what we're going to do is just add a little bit of glue here, all the way around the edge. There we go. And just line it up, catching all of these. Just move it in a little bit. Gives a nice little frame. Get them all lined up there. And if you're off just a tiny bit, every once in a while, I have to admit, when I put these on, I don't get them perfectly straight. You can just nip away some little bits that show from underneath. There we go. So I like the way that looks. Now on the original card, what I did was I created a frame to go on the top that sat in between the gold, but because my edge is showing there, I cut a larger frame, and it's just going to cover that little bit that we damaged. Pop that over. Just a little bit of mounting foam on the backs of all this. Make sure that I'm straight-ish. Oopsie. Always a tiny bit fiddly. Let's see if I can get that on there a little straighter. There we go. So now you can't even see that little spot that we messed up. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to have a piece recessed. So what I'm going to do is bring a piece of white card over, just sort of line it up on top of there. I'm going to use the inside die from this one, which is the Java, and tape it into place just so it's going to be lined up, and that's where it will sit after it's cut. Let me bring this over. We're just going to cut the detailed die here. There's not an outer cutting edge. Give it a quick run over. There's lots of little detail to this one. if I can get some of these out. There we go. Pop that back onto its die. Tidy these up. And I have a bit to pop out still. Let me just take my pokey tool to these real quickly. Get all these little spots. There we go. Okay, so I want just the back of this to be black and everything else to show through white. So I've gone ahead and cut the outer edge to this. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue around the back of it. And we're going to add that into place. See if I can get it close enough here. There we go. Pop that right over that. So that part will show through black. And then I want all that around the edge to still stay white. Okay. Give some mounting foam to the back I've already put on, and I've also put it around the very edges of the aperture. You don't want those to sag, so adding in a little extra mounting foam there makes all the difference. Just takes you longer to peel it off. There we go, we'll get there. Line this up. I'm going to lean in again, apologize, just to make sure I'm nice and straight there. And I've got just a tiny bit here I'm going to nip away from underneath. There we go. So I can bring that over and put it onto my base. I've gone with the same colors with the gold mirror card and the black. Just glue that down. And then we will do our sentiment. Give that a second to set up. So I've gone ahead and stamped my sentiment in black on just a little piece of scrap paper. These extra little bits of sticky sheet are perfect for this. Pop this over the top. We can peel the backing off and expose that and find my little, there it is, my little frame. Now the frame was created by using the center of the Sumatra with the center of the background to give me two different shaped ovals. So I can use these two, and I had this, which is cut twice in gold mirror. And we will pop that right over the top, try and get it as straight as possible. That looks pretty good. A little bit of, just a tiny bit of diamond snow there. Should be perfect. And you can either cut this with a die. I think with simple ones, I always prefer just to use scissors. I think it's easier. Just sort of angle them underneath the edge. We can take that off. And just go slow. Keep them right under the edge of the die there. Get a little bit of glitter. And we'll find a piece of mounting foam for that. And seat it right in the center of the aperture. There you go. Quick and easy, beautiful card, very elegant, and I'm sure people will wonder, how did you get that shape in the middle of that die? So pretty, I think. I hope you've enjoyed the video and look for us on our YouTube channel.